Hey guys, it's Katie, and in this video I'm going to show you how to edit a Canva template. So in this case I'm using one of our premium paid templates, but this process would also work for free templates. So to start, you're going to need the link to edit the templates. So on this page, like this is a paid one, so I would click on the link that I received after paying for it, and then it says a template created by Katie Harp was shared with you, start designing now, and you can see what the different pages look like. So this is one of our paid Instagram templates, but if you also have signed up for a free template, it would be the same. And then you just click on Use Template. And you do need a free Canva account for this to work. You don't have to have the paid version of Canva. The free version will work. And then you can see once I've clicked on Use Template, it'll add this template to my Canva screen. So I can just scroll through and see what all the different templates look like. And I would recommend, since this is kind of like the original, or at least it's the original for you, this is a template, so it's not the actual original, but it is your only copy of it. I would recommend first going to File, Make a Copy. Just so if you make a lot of edits and adjustments or you delete any of these pages, then you can always go back to your original and then see what the original template looks like. So first I'd recommend making a copy of your own templates, so then you can just edit freely and not have to worry about messing anything up. So then these are Instagram templates, so you might go through and try to figure out like which ones you're interested in editing first. These are designed for engagement, so they have different things like these lists here, or they have tips and they have some icons or recommended resources. You can even do testimonials from your clients. We also have some mock-ups of tweets or phone notifications, so it looks kind of like a phone notification or a tweet, but you're actually just making it in Canva, so it's a lot easier to post it to Instagram or Facebook or wherever you want to use these square graphics. So I'm just going to go in and pick one of these that I want to edit for you. So let's go to, how about one of these quotes? So you can really just pick any of them, and you start, and here's the text. I have, this is actually called Cupcake Ipsum, and it's just filler text about desserts. So you could put in whatever quote you want. So this could be a quote from you if you're, say, like a life coach or a business coach, and you want to share information with your audience or present yourself as like an expert on a topic, or this could be an inspirational quote just to get more engagement and likes. Let's just do a quote like, start each day with a grateful heart, because I have a sign in front of me that says that. So then you can see this is pretty small for the area, so I'm going to go up here and change the size. Okay, so that's 32, 48, that's a little bit bigger. I might want to also make it bold and see how that looks. You can try centering it, and then you can move it around, and you can also see that there's these little lines on the canvas as I move it, and when it turns into a line like that, that means it's centered. Or if it's like over here, then this is like aligned to one side of it, or you can align it to the center there. Or if I do it like right in the middle, then when we have both of the crosshairs, that would be completely centered, but with this design, that doesn't quite make sense. So I might just center it on this sidebar. Oops. Center it over here. And then you can also add your website to all these. So you do have permission to edit these and add your own logo or URL. And you also have permission to use these to create finished graphics for your clients. You just can't share the templates. So here, I guess it would be the same like example. So I might put in my website, katieharpcreative.com. And then let's say I don't want it to be pink, so maybe we'll change this to some different colors. We could try like a turquoise, and I might make that lighter. So all I did there was I just clicked on the background, the element that I wanted to change, and then I clicked up here with the color. And then here are some of the default colors from Canva, or here's some of the colors from the document that you can use. Or here's a special color palette, but that's on the pro version. But it would tell you what colors are in the document. Or you can click up here on new color, and then you can just like play around with it and see what kind of color you want. And you can edit it here and then just move around. Might make it a little bit darker. Okay. And then we do have this quote element. If that's an icon from Canva, that's free, but if you want to delete that, you can by just pressing the delete button or Control Z to undo, or at the top of the screen, it does have an undo and a redo button on Canva. And then looking at this, the URL at the bottom doesn't really make sense with the pink over the turquoise. It's kind of like hard to read. So I might change this to white and see how that looks. And I might go in and make the font a little bit bigger. And then you can also, if it's going to 2 lines like that, then you can stretch it out to the side and then go into here and try to center it again. I might move that down a little bit. So just click on it and then use the arrow keys on your keyboard. And then this like sky and grassy area is kind of just the representation of Canva's like blank mockup. So you can go over to photos on Canva and they have a ton of free photos, or you can use paid or premium stock photos by just going over to uploads and then uploading your own photos. So I actually have some stock photos and I could just drag over one of my stock photos and then you can see it adds it there and it's like the same shape and everything. And then if you want to edit the positioning of that, then you can double click on it and you can just move this around. So it'd either be like off to that side or kind of centered, or if I move it all the way over, then it shows more of the notebooks and the pens. So I think I like that. And you can even edit the images a little bit. And so there's like the effects and stuff, which I don't usually use. There's the filters. I also don't use those too much, but there's adjust. And sometimes I like to add a little bit of brightness to all of them. So I have like a brightness of 5. That just brightens it a little bit more. And you can change the contrast, saturation, blur, and all that stuff. You can also flip the image up here if you want to flip it horizontal or flip it vertically. So depending on the type of photo you're using, that might be more useful, but in this case, it kind of makes sense going in this direction. So then that's editing one of these. The same process would be for like any of these. If you had, say, like a different one, like this donut chart. So in this case, I wouldn't have it titled donut chart diagram. I would say like the best ways to get new clients. And then I might change the spacing up here by clicking on this button. And I'll change the line height to like maybe 1.4. And then just to make sure that's centered, you can click on position and it's already centered. And then here, let's say I want a different color. Let's use the turquoise again and say that's my brand color. So I just changed the entire thing to turquoise just by clicking on this element and then clicking on the color up here and changing it. And you can also change it to any of these colors, or you can put in your custom color by clicking on new color and then adding the hex code right here, or I can pick this one again. And then your website here, I would edit that to be my website. And if it's not enough space, then you can make this bigger or make it a little bit wider. And maybe I'll change that to a gray. If I've moved that around and it's not centered, then you can just go to position center. And then on these, this would be the 3 ways I have to get new clients. So I'll say Facebook groups and blog posts. I'm actually going to go in and put those all on separate lines, and then social media. Okay, and you can just, depending on like how big the text is, you might want to move these around within the diagram. Make sure that one's centered, make sure this is centered. And then when you're ready to actually save these images, you don't have to save all the files at the same time. So I have, just to take note of it, I have page 22 on here, and I have page 29. So then I would go up here where it says download, and I'm going to click on the arrow and click on download. And then instead of all the pages, I really only want page 22, as we just saw, which I can see because it's turquoise and I just edited it, and also page 29. So I'm going to check those two and click done. And then I don't have a transparent background on either of these. That is a pro option, but I don't need transparency in this case. So then for the file type, you're either going to do JPEG or PNG. Now PNG would be kind of like the full quality of the image, and you'd need it for transparent backgrounds, but it's also a huge file. So if you're using these for your blog or website or social media, then I would definitely recommend using a JPEG instead. And you can also see like, okay, there's the quality, how much do you want it to reduce the quality, which can make it look a little fuzzy, but it also reduces the size and it loads faster. I think that is a pro feature. But yeah, I would recommend usually for most cases using the JPEG instead of a PNG. And then down here, we've selected the 2 files that I actually want, so I don't have to do all like 30 of them at the same time, and then just click download. And it says preparing your design. And your design has been published. So then I just click on this zip file. And then I just open it up on my computer, and you can see these 2 files. So instead of getting every single file on the entire template, I can just choose the ones that I want and only edit those ones, and then download those like 2 designs specifically that I just wanted, or as many as you want. And then I open it up and just make this a little smaller. And then you can see there's the one graphic, and that's a JPEG. And then here's the other graphic, which is also a JPEG. Okay, so those look good. And then those are called 22 and 29. So if you wanted to rename those to something else, like best way to get clients, and change this to quote graphic. So then you can rename them, and it just helps you a little bit with the organization and knowing what the file is, so it's not just a number. So then when you're done, you can just X out of this, and you can keep editing this if you want, and you can even duplicate this. So if you wanted to do the same design and just like change the quote, new quote here, new quote here, new quote. So you could do the same design again, like once you've made the changes you like and changed the colors and the fonts and that stuff, then maybe you just want to duplicate it. So you can just go up there and duplicate it. You can even delete pages you don't need, but again, if you're going to delete some of the pages, then I would definitely recommend like having your own extra backup copy of this whole template set, so you don't like completely delete them. So then I've just duplicated that. I can change the quote, I can change the picture, I can go in here and just like drag over a new picture if I want and try something out like that. And then you can download it again. Just click it there, go to download, and then if you wanted, scroll down, and this time I'd only want page 30, so you just do that, and you can just keep going back here and edit the templates as you like to match your branding, and that's all there is to it. So good luck.